Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist. Uh, this is called, the playlist is called Matriarchy versus Patriarchy. I also have it under Pastafarian rules because Pastafarians need to understand what's the difference between a matriarchy and a patriarchy, because we believe in a patriarchy. Not the same type of patriarchy as a Christian belief, because Christian belief patriarchy is oppressive. Women are considered property, not in a Pastafarian uh, patriarchy. So, anyways, last time we were talking about feminism, how they lie. Feminism is not about equality; it is about uh, female supremacy, just like white supremacy. And we were talking about how they lie about the wage gap, and how, like, an example was doctors. Female doctors actually make more per hour, but because they're female, the gender gap is actually the gap is actually women make more than men. Okay, and this proves it. Like the doctors, women make more per hour. The reason, but they don't bring that up. They bring up annual pay because men doctors make more than female doctors annually, but it's not because of gender reasons like the hourly pay is. It's because men put in overtime. They don't take as many vacations. They don't take many days off. They work longer, mainly though because they work overtime, and women just don't do that in general. But they do, so they do make more money. It's just a lie. The same as sports. Like the WNBA, the women's basketball thing. They say they don't make as much as men. Well, no crap, you don't make as much as men. But it's not because you're a woman. It's because you can't play as good as a man. Okay? The NBA has players that are the best in the world. Okay? The WNBA only has the best of women. And the best of women, okay, is crap compared to men. Okay? Then WNBA doesn't want to play little kids, men, boys, to prove how good they are. Okay, they're afraid. Okay, and the reason why is because they've already done it with soccer and a couple other sports, where like in soccer, they did like 15, 20 games or something, and they got 15-year-old boys, basically in what, junior high, barely in high school, 15 years old, okay, 15-year-old boys uh, in soccer, and then they got the world's best women soccer players. Like we're talking about in the Olympia type, and professional soccer players, and they could not win. They couldn't even score. Like out of the 15 or 20 games, they scored like 3 times. You know what I mean? If that, it was either two. I know they got at least two in, but it was 2 or 3 out of 15, 20 games. They couldn't even score, let alone win. Okay, and this was against. These are the best of women in the world. To some junior high or high school soccer team, whoop their ass. They can't even play as good as a 15-year-old boy. Why should you get paid as much as an NBA player when you play worse than a 15-year-old boy? I mean, so by your logic, feminist logic, if a woman, professional woman, person plays worse than a 15-year-old boy, but she deserves to make NBA money, then shouldn't the 15-year-old boy in junior high, shouldn't they be getting millions of dollars every year? No, because no one goes to watch that 15-year-old boy play except for family and people in that community. You know what I mean? Same way with WNBA or the women's sports. Nobody wants to watch. Nobody cares. Why? Because you can't even beat 15-year-old boys. And no one wants to watch 15-year-old boys. So why would they want to watch people who are worse than 15-year-old boys? You know what I mean? Like the WNBA, the women's basketball, they don't even make money. They lose money every year. They would not even exist if the NBA didn't give them money. They're basically a charity fund, okay? Because they can't make money. They lose money every year since they have existed. Okay? And the only reason they can survive is because they suck off of the NBA players who are actually making money, that are the best in the world. And that's how they get paid. They just basically steal, you know. They have their little charity fund, and they act like they should make it. It's like if you got someone like Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise or some big name, and you got some piece of crap new guy coming into the movie business, no one knows. Obviously, you're going to pay the guy that brings in the money. Tom Cruise will bring in money for your movies. The no-name guy ain't going to bring in money. He ain't going to bring in hundreds of millions. No. That's why Tom Cruise gets made a lot more than a nobody who just, who doesn't bring in the money. It's the same way with sports. If you don't bring in the money, the NBA brings in billions every year, like 1.2, 1.5 billion every year, billions. And the women's are actually losing. They're actually a charity case, but they're supposed to make as much as the guy who brings in billions, in the NBA. That makes no sense. That's not equality. That's not equality. How is that equality? That's female supremacy. I'll give one last example about this. This is from my own personal experience. If I work a job and there's a guy that's and I'm even skinnier than I am, you know what I mean? I can't do nothing. I'm so weak. And then there's a Hulk Hogan guy. We're both stacking bags. Every 30 seconds, there's a bag that gets filled up with some kind of chemical or some kind of dirt or some kind of something. I have to stack it on to the pallet, and then once the pallet's filled, we wrap it and go to the next pallet. That would be my job at the factory, right? Now, if the He-Man guy can do twice as much as me, he obviously deserves to get paid more than me. If he can stack 45 pallets every day, and I'm only stacking 20 pallets a day, obviously he should make more. But in a feminist, because this is meritocracy, that who does the best work, who does the more work, who makes the more money for the company gets paid more. That's a meritocracy. That's a patriarchy. In a matriarchy, no. If a woman is there and she can only stack 20 pallets a day and the guy's stacking 45, she wants to be paid her the same amount. Because in her mind, she's working as many hours. I'm putting in as many hours as this guy is. Yeah, but you're not doing as much work. Not only are you not doing as much work, you're not making the company as much money. The more money the company has to pay you, then the more they can pay you. But they don't want that. They don't want fairness. That equality to them is we do less work, and as long as we put in the same hours as you, we should get paid the same. WNBA and NBA should be paid the same because we play basketball and they play basketball. So we should get paid the same money, even though the NBA brings in billions and the WNBA actually loses money every year. And okay, to my experience though, like I had a job doing that where I'm stacking, and I'd have to it'd be like a 50-pound bag on average. Sometimes it'd be 100 pounds, sometimes it'd be 15, but on average it'd be 45, 50 pounds. Every 30 seconds, or actually probably about every seven seconds, okay? I'd have to pick up this 50-pound bag and not only pick it up and put it onto the pallet, you figure the pallet's right there. But after I do the first couple bags, now I have to walk halfway around the pallet, you know what I mean, to put the bags there. And then when I'm at the very end, I got to go all the way around, that's a good 5 feet, there and 5 feet back, and I only have 7 seconds to pick this bag up. And then when I put it onto the pallet, I can't just throw it on there. I got to do like this, like you would do with the sheet, trying to get the sheet to flatten out, You do that with your bag and smash on the bag so that it flatten out, so that your pallet would not be lopsided and crap when she was wrapping it up. Okay. Now that sounds like a hard job. It was a hard job, right? I mean, it was easy for me, but it was, when it was 50 pounds. But that's like a physical job, man. That's like doing that after 8 hours. You don't want to do that much after that. You know what I mean? You want to sit down and hang out. You don't want to do stuff. But anyways, in the line, you always had a bagger and you always have a sewer, right? the hopper gets filled up with a whole bunch of chemicals, and you have to have a person there to put the bag onto the chute, right? And then clamps would come and hold the bag, and then it would fill up, right? And then it would drop down onto this conveyor belt, and then it move aside, and then the bagger would put another bag on. So every second, 7 seconds, all they had to do was put a bag on a pipe and press a lever so that clamps came down to hold the thing. Every 7 seconds. That's all they had to do. Then the next person, all they had to do was take the bag and hold it, and there'd be a sewing machine there, like a heavy duty thing. And they would just hold it there so that it would stay, flat while the bag was going through, and lead it through the sewer. That's all they had to do. Then they'd wait. The next bag would fill up, drop onto the thing, conveyor belt, move down, and they'd hold it every 7 seconds. Guess who did those jobs? Who did the sewing and putting the bag on? Women. Who did the stacking and the hard work? Oh yeah, it was men. Yeah, it was me. Me. I'm there picking every 7 seconds. I got to pick up a 50-pound bag, carry it around the pallet, flatten it out, jerk it around, and all they had to do was move a empty bag from here, their stack of bags into onto the thing every 7 seconds. That's all they had to do, or hold the bag. The bag was on the conveyor. They didn't have to pick the bag up or anything. They just had to hold it so that it went through the sewing machine, so it was all flat. You know what I mean? Every 7 seconds. We all got paid the same money, though. That's what equality is in the matriarchy. That's what they consider equality. They do no work. I do all the work, and we all get paid the same. That's their idea of equality in a matriarchy. Okay. And let me tell you this: if it wasn't set up like that, and there was no women, it was all men. Let me tell you, the stacker would be getting paid more money. Okay. But in this factory, all the women got all the easy jobs, and so they just paid us all the same money. That's equality in the matriarchy. But let's see how much time we got left here. Okay, 2 minutes. So that is the matriarchy, and what I wanted to bring up about the matriarchy is, people think, well, they never want to do construction, and they don't want to do, fishermen or, sewage. Women don't want to do these hard jobs. They're always complaining about high-paying jobs. They don't care about it. Sooner or later, trust me, they are going to they're trying it right now. It's starting right now, where they're forcing women to go into construction, go into electricians and mechanics, and like I said in another video, that things start out in like Switzerland and Germany, or I guess from your perspective it'd be up here, and then it goes through Europe down to France and spreads out to the UK and the Australia, and then goes over to the United States. So in Switzerland and Germany, that type of area over there, the most what would that be? The most northeast part of Europe, almost, that they already have 50% of women in like government, 50% in construction, 50%. I can't even imagine how many women in that country are on antidepressants. Because in the United States, because of this feminism, 1 in 4 women, 1 in 4 adult women are on antidepressants. You know what I mean? Gee, I wonder why. But my whole point was, I was trying to get into is that they'll just change the rules. They're going to sooner or later, because they want everyone to think that it's normal for 50% of women to be in government, 50% of women to be in doctors, 50% being in construction, being on an oil rig. But all they'll do is change the rules. Okay, just like they let them into the factory, but yeah, they give them all the easy jobs and give them the same pay. Same with cops, firemen, soldiers. Okay, what's funny is you don't care about I care about my grandchildren. Oh, that's the end. All right, well, see you on the next video.